before the live stream starts or watching it after it. How you all going? Oh, we got one person. Check out this car I got behind me. I'll wait till a few more people jump in and I'll start doing questions and talking and stuff like that. So shout out where you're from, who you are. How do I get the messages to show up? You guys know I don't do live very often, so I'm not the biggest expert. Hey, how's it going? 7 more people. Third era, what's up? Everyone say hi to Grumpy Old Grant. Say hi, Grumpy Grant.
Hi, Grumpy Grant.
Ola from Christchurch. Phoenix, USA. Jeff Neal, what's up? San Diego, CA. Is that California? I'm pretty sure it is. Hello from Brazil. Final live stream, yeah. When I say that, I just mean final live stream from here at Auto Sound. I might do more in the future, who knows, but probably the final one here in this building, because, yeah, you know why. All right, so we've got a few people in here now. We've got, yeah, looks like about 37. What's up, Harold from Florida? Yeah, basically just this is one of my final live streams that I'm going to be doing here, so I figured now would be a good time to do like a Q&A, because I've been getting quite a few questions on my videos lately, and I thought this would be a good opportunity for you guys to shout them out, and I can just answer them on the fly, rather than going through all the comments and trying to figure out and answer them and everything like that. What's up, Matthew Potter from the UK?
Related to Harry?
Yeah. By the way, guys, so this Ford Capri, I have filmed a video on it. I filmed the first half, and I'm waiting for some speakers to arrive to film the second half, so you guys should be seeing that video hopefully tonight. And then I have got a video I can film tomorrow, which is that Nissan X-Trail that I did. What's up from Barbados? I did that Nissan X-Trail with that Alpine ILX 702D, and it was going to have more cameras. So the cameras have arrived, the switching boxes arrived, so I've got that booked in tomorrow to do. And hopefully if I get it all done right, there should be 3 working cameras on that stereo, and it should be all good. So this Ford Capri, by the way, it's just a 1982 Ford Capri, quite nice. Yeah, simple video, just a couple sets of speakers, but I'll save that for tonight, and you guys can watch that then. What's up, Franco from Montreal? It's pronounced Quebec, Canada? Quebec, is it? I saw the accents over the letters and I thought, oh, it could be a funny pronunciation. Alpine subs or Scar subs? I honestly can't say about Scar because we've never had it here. I do love Alpine subwoofers, they're really good. Very thirsty, but very good. I love the Type Rs. What the Debbie from Brooklyn, New York? By the way, we had a lot of building going on in here at the moment. It's quite intense. Like, not sure if many of you guys know this. If you're in Christchurch or New Zealand, you will know this. But 2011, Christchurch had a big earthquake. It was like how big was it? Like a 6.2. And I mean, that doesn't sound big. We had like a 7.5 a couple years earlier. But the
highest velocity earthquake in the world.
Yeah. So the 6.2, really it was apparently the highest velocity. Sup, Froze House, Jason. Highest velocity earthquake in the world or something. But anyway, it was really devastating. It broke our city. People died and stuff like that. So just the following years since then have been just so much work for tradies, like building tradies and stuff like that, and bullshit with insurance companies and contractors and all that sort of stuff. So literally, look at the strengthening that's happening in this building at the moment. I'll just flip the camera around. They're putting these massive steel beams in. Look at this thing. Like, I don't know if this is holding this wall up or what, but this is massive. They're putting beams everywhere. So, like, we're at the moment trying to work around them, which is really annoying because, you know, we're not going to be here for like the next couple weeks, so they could probably have just waited, but I don't know. What's up, Grumpy Grant from Australia? You got a shout out, Grant? Yep, from Aussie. I missed that one. Hi from Croatia. Can you help me find a place to live in New Zealand? Don't live in Auckland. It's jam-packed. Like, there's a housing crisis there. It's too many people.
Christchurch is the best.
Christchurch, yeah. Like, it sounds rich coming from someone.
We've got negative growth, so places are cheap.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds rich just because I know I live in Christchurch, so of course I'm going to recommend it. But Canterbury Plains, huge, lots of room to build. Grant says we have negative growth, so there's more buildings than there are people. So you're not going to have any issues with like housing prices or actually finding a place here in Christchurch. Auckland, you'll struggle for ages. And get this, the average, this was at the end of last year, I think the average Auckland house price is officially $1 million New Zealand. Like an average house, like we're talking like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom or something like that, not a mansion. How long you been doing car audio? 5.5 years. I started in 2012 July, and that's when I got my job here. Punch 6.5 components versus Alpine 6 components. Ooh, if we're talking Alpine Type R, I would go Type R. Yeah, because see, now interesting because you guys know Den and Fernanda. They always talk about Rockford, bright, right in your face. Alpine, more subtle. Personally, I find the Alpines to be quite bright and in your face as well. If you wanted, clean and subtle, I'd go Focal. But between the two, the Punch, I've had the Punch components and I've installed a lot of Type R components. And the Type Rs are just crowd pleasers. Everyone loves them. They go loud, they go bassy, they are easy to install. They're very efficient, very, very efficient. So you can run them off the weakest American hi-fi stereo and they'll sound badass. What is the population in Christchurch? Oh, I don't know. What is it? 400,000? I'm 23, been doing it half my life. Good on you, man. So you were doing it when you were 15? No, not even that. 11 and a half? That's pretty young to start. Sad to see you go from there, man. Always look forward to the vids. Yeah, thanks, Tim. I'm sad to be, going as well, but hopefully I can transition into something bigger, better. I'm just hoping to go onwards and upwards, By the way, Grant has located himself a new job, but I won't talk about that too much just for, his own privacy. I have not yet located myself a new job, but I'm going to be tackling that as it comes. I need program for program sound. Sorry, I don't really know what you mean by that. Is it Juan? I need program for program sound. I think he might just have his English off a wee bit. Do you mean you want to tune it?
Yeah, it might be.
Where are you going? I'm not going anywhere yet, man. I have got an end date here, but I haven't got like a new plan. I have got all next week off from work here. I'm taking leave as much as I can. So maybe all of next week I'll be able to go around and pitch my services to people. That'd be ideal, I think, if I can get onto that. Macintosh Subarus. See now, factory premium sound systems, I feel like they're more common in America because I see Dean and Fernando do a lot of them. In New Zealand here, because we have all JDM market, Japanese cars, premium sound systems are more common. It's like less common, it's more like 1 in every 5 cars. So I would say, it depends if you ever want to upgrade. If you think you're ever going to want to put your own sound system in a car, get the car with the base sound system, because that just makes it so much easier to upgrade it later on. If you get anything premium, it means you either have to find special interfaces to run to the amplifier, or you have to bypass the amplifier, and it just makes it a whole lot messier. And sometimes it even means it's a different fascia, and it makes it harder. But I'd say they sound good from the factory, but then they probably only last a couple of years, and then it needs upgrading anyway. What was that? Orion, HTC, A or GZ plutonium for moving the tectonic plates. I don't know what that plutonium one was, but I have heard really good things about the HCCAs. We've never had them, but to be honest, we never do that much big SPL stuff here, really, at all, ever, anyway. Like, the closest thing we've had to SPL systems here would have been my Mitsubishi Lignum with the 215s, and that Corvette I did not long ago. That's in the time I've been here. Before I was here earlier than 5 years ago, it was probably more of a thing.
American fault with the stock market crash in 2008.
How old are you? I'm 24. 25 in September. Have you ever tried to pitch to the car audio companies for work? Maybe a Rockford rep or a Focal rep? You're reading my mind, man. Have I heard of CT Sounds? Yes, I've definitely heard of CT Sounds. Again, we don't have it here. Then this is the thing, like maybe I don't communicate it well enough, but you guys recommend so many great brands, and I do know about them just from watching YouTube channels which are predominantly based in America. CT Sounds, Audio Control, Audison, like all of those, like Scar, Sky High, all of those amazing brands. We just don't have them here just because no one imports it. Auto Sound, us, we don't import anything ourselves. We never buy anything overseas. We get all of our products through companies who are importers and buy in bulk and stuff like that, you know. The Fusion New Zealand demo van did 170 dB. Okay, good on them. It's up from the Dominion Republic in the Caribbean. Best of luck. Thanks, Chris. Oh, man, arm gets tired holding that thing up. I need to get a little tripod / selfie stick thing. What about Polk Audio? Again, that's something else that we've never dipped our fingers into, just because, I mean, interestingly enough, that's one brand that we can get if we want it, but our supplier recently just got into it, and we've just never really gotten around to trying it yet, so at this stage I probably don't think I'll be ending up doing any of it. I do like the fact that they make all this stuff marine grade, or waterproof at least, water resistant. 400 watts CT sound and only lasted me 6 months. They do not like vibration, but was very powerful and cheaply made. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting he said that, just especially since Doug Bernards loves CT sounds, and I've always held his opinion on car audio product quite highly. How many watts do you recommend for the Focal PS165 F3 per channel on the amp? Okay, so they're rated, I think, at around about 85 watts RMS per channel, and that's to power all 3 speakers. I'm personally running 100 watts per channel on my Rockford Fosgate one. To be honest, like 100 watts per channel is all you need for almost any speaker these days. That's kind of the general average or general norm of what you want to do if you're doing like a proper amplified speaker set. Whether it's rated 50 watts or 50 watts to 110 watts, 100 watts will do it well. If your speakers are rated at more, like 150 watts RMS, then you probably want to head up towards that range, like get one of the Rockford Fosgate T800 4s or something like that, one of the big ones, or a PDX F6. Which 6.5 should I go for? Rockford T3 65 or Focal 165 KRX2? Oh, that's a good question. I have never done the T3s, and we've done one big job with those Focal K2s, and they sounded awesome. Now that's the 2 ways. Personally, I would choose the Focals just because I love
Hand-built.
Yeah, hand-built in France, beautiful cast basket. Don't get me wrong, I love Rockford, but I think Focal from now on will always be my speaker, people. It depends on what type of sound you're trying to get out of them as well. Like the Rockford Fosgates, they are meant to go loud. The K2s are also meant to go loud, but I think maybe they put a bit more effort into their sound quality side of things. I don't know. Focal speakers are good quality source and good amplification is all you need. A lot of hype over American brands, I think. Grant's giggling. Just got here, liked your motorcycle video. Sorry about your John, man. Thanks, man, that's all good. Shit happens, you know. You learn and you move on. Polk has a very good sensitivity, 91 dB, 1.1 meter. That's cool. Tech question for Mr. James. What's going on? Oh, our builder's just tuned up. It might get a bit louder in here soon. I'm not going to do this live stream for too long. Last time I went on for way too long. I went on for like an hour. Aren't CT Sounds one of his sponsors? Yeah, I think they are. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's true. Yeah. You're very good at what you're doing. Thank you, man. Just one day I just want to say your channel auto installations and guidance is unmatched art form. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome with the compliments. You're just like going for it. Gus has a good question. I have your amps, little brother, T400X4AD, and the K2 series speakers. The fact that they aren't 80 watts RMS, won't that end up frying them? No, I doubt it. No, the K2s can take a beating. So Focal is cool. Like, I like the Flax series. They do a good enough job for me. If you wanted the absolute best sound quality you could possibly get, Topia. If you want just as good a sound quality, maybe a wee bit better, but also go louder than the Flax series, that's where the K2 fits in. So it kind of goes like Flax, goes loud, sounds good. K2 goes even louder, sounds even better. And then Utopia, which doesn't go as loud. They're meant to be a bit more quiet and toned down, but they're meant to be perfect clarity. So yeah, no, the 400X4AD, I love those amps. They definitely do the power they're rated at. RMS per channel is more like 120 watts, according to the birth sheets. You know, they always rate them under what they actually do. So yeah, definitely that amp with those speakers. I have a Sundown 7500 now, the 4000 watt CT sound, kinda hung with it. Okay. PDX F6 is awesome, and an M6 driving a Focal K2. Nice, man. Do you think under-seat sub is worth money? Oh man, I could go on forever about under-seat subs. They just bother me. They bother me. You guys know your stuff with how sound works. What's the one common thing across subwoofers across every industry? They put them in an enclosure. PA, they put them in a big closure with a huge port. Home audio, they're in a box. Classic car subwoofers, they go in a box. So the reason that... I could go on forever about this. If you get something which is moving up and down and you slap it straight into an amp which has barely any air around it and it's just there's got no air around it, it's not going to make bass. I've installed a few of them, and as kinky as it sounds, I call them seat vibrators. You feel it in your butt, it just vibrates up and down. It's like a massage chair, but there is no audible bass whatsoever, because audible bass comes from low frequency waves that you can hear vibrating inside. It's the air inside the box compressing and expanding. That's what it is. And when there's no air in there, you're not going to hear anything. Sorry, I see what I mean. I went on about that for way too long. So no, not worth the money. Short story. I think they're a have. Hugh and Grant by the shop. Like the Infinity Kappas. 4 ohm tweeter, 4 ohm woofer. Does the amp see 2 ohm? If you put them in parallel, yes. It also depends on what crossover you're hooking them up to, passive crossover, if you're using one. Obviously, if you were on the same channel, you would want to use a passive crossover because you don't want to stick full range through your tweeter, obviously. So, yeah, if they were in parallel and on a crossover, I'd say it would see 2 ohms. My Hertz parcel shelf speakers are somewhat drowning out of my footwell speakers. What can one do? Drowning out my footwell speakers. What can one do with this apart from fading? Really not that much. It depends on what size speakers you have in there as well. I'm wondering maybe if you have 6x9s, because 6x9s have a huge cone on them. They're incredibly vocal and loud, and because they're facing the windscreen, it's just a great big mirror, and it just bounces it straight back at you. So, yeah, fading, turning the gains down on the amp if you've got one, then, yeah, there's not much you can do. And also, you mentioned you had kick panel speakers. They're way down low. They're trying to come up to your ears. They're down by your feet. It's a little enclosed area. Yeah, there's not much you can do apart from sort of change out your setup a wee bit. Get some tweeters up on top of the dash. That might make the front sound a bit brighter. Hold on, I'm going past a few here. I need to make sure I get these. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. Oh wait, I've seen that one. Smallest Rockford amp you think would go good for a punch 6.5 components? If you're after straight up smallest, it'd be the PBR 300 X4 or X2 if you're just running two speakers rather than 4 channel. Those are flat out the smallest amplifier with decent power that I've come across, because they are literally have I got anything around here similar size? They are probably about 2/3 the size of this staple gun if it was a rectangle. Sorry, I haven't got anything similar. If you want a bit more power or quality though, go up to the Power Series ones. They're also very good and small. Thanks for all the praise, guys. So if RMS power is actual power and max is peak power, then what is Grant's power? Do you get that? What's Grant's power? Grant's secret power is looking 25 when he's in his late 40s.
Good genes.
Good genes, yeah. Me and my girl really enjoy watching your channel. Thanks, Diablo. Which tweeters do I recommend? When you say which tweeters, do you mean like just standalone tweeters that you buy just as a set on their own, or with the speakers? Because we honestly don't do much of that. Like if someone comes in and says, I want tweeters, I say, okay, well they come with woofers as well, you know? So Type R's, Focals, Rockfords, those are all great, but if you're after just tweeters on their own, obviously Rockford make quite a few different sets, a Prime set, a Punch set, and those Punch Pro ones, which are massive and super loud. Out of those years installing, what was your most hated install? One you'd never want to do again? Oh, that's a good question. There's been a few. Like, I don't know, I don't mind the V-dubs actually. There probably would have to be one of the Audis that I've done. I did that, I even filmed a series. That Audi I did with like a full Focal flex setup was a nightmare. Audis are tricky. There must be something else though. To be honest, no, you know what I actually really don't like working on, and this is going to sound awkward because I do a lot of them. It's the 4th generation Subaru Legacies. Mine's a 5th generation. The previous ones where I've built all those fitting kits for trying to get a stereo in them, those are really hard for speakers because for whatever reason that generation, Subaru happened to make the distance between the grille on the door panel, and the window when it's down really, really small. So the Type R's barely fit, the Focals barely fit. So I really hate doing speakers on those just because I'm always worried something's going to be either hitting the door card, like the surround, or the magnet hitting the window. But yeah, Audis are pretty nasty, to be honest. Oh, and also the BMW X5, now that I've kind of got it nailed down, I know what I'm doing with it. But the BMW 3 Series with navigation, Grant did one of those a while ago, and that was a nightmare as well, because it was similar to the X5, but different a wee bit. You could have a go at this question, Grant. What would be your most nightmarish car you've ever had to work on?
Porsche Cayenne.
Porsche Cayenne? Mm-hmm. Did you do a big system in that?
No, that was just a mow bridge.
Just a mow bridge.
With fibre optic, running fibre optic in a Porsche Cayenne. That's a bitch.
So, broad answer, European cars, because they are put together like a Chinese puzzle box. Do you protect tweeters in an active crossover setup? What capacitors? Okay, so as much as I would love us to do it more often, we honestly never do active setups. Our speakers come with crossovers, it saves us time, and in New Zealand, I don't know, I've tried pitching DSPs to people, no one ever wants to pay for them. All of them are over $1,000, except maybe the DSR1, but the DSR1 is more focused on cars that kind of like 100% need a DSP for it to work. We just never do them. So yeah, to answer your question, we pretty much just always use passive crossovers. Grant is underpowered. He's all distorted. Thanks. What's up, Johnny Rivera? Your new name is Stereo Lord. Okay. Stereo Lord, man. Stereo Lord, come on. Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey James, how's it going? Have you ended up doing the D-Max yet? What? The one I talked about for the new speakers. No, and we haven't heard back from him. I got a feeling he may not be coming in, and the reason for that could be something to do with the fact that I had to tell him, you may want to get your job done earlier than 4 weeks away because we may not be here. I had to kind of like let him in on the secret, because he wanted to book it for like 4 weeks out, and I can't book something for when the business may not be here. So I don't think he's going to come back. But, you know, I couldn't lie to him. Missed everything. What happened? Unemployment? Not unemployed yet. I've still got a couple weeks to go, 2 or 3. I've got all of next week off, and then that following week I'm working, and then after that, that's it. I think like the 3rd of March or something is my last day. So far, no future plans. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I realise it's getting a bit loud out there with all the things going on. Just let me know that you can hear me, and I'm not too quiet. I'll speak up if I have to. Don't let Dean hear you say door card. Door card. Run my way around the sandwich. Just finished my amp install. Good on you, Tim. Subaru. There it is. Yeah, you guys want to hear that? Subaru. Hyundai. Subaru. Yeah, I probably do say Subaru more often. It's probably a Kiwi thing. What it might be is so in New Zealand, when we were learning the alphabet in like, you know, first years of school, there was like so they called it the European, because like European descended vowels like A, E, I, O, U, which is like, I've forgotten the little acronym. An egg is on us. So it's like really straightforward and short. And then there's the Maori vowels, which are like A, E, or U, which is, sometimes our words and languages kind of mix up and combine. But I'm pretty white sounding as far as a Kiwi goes. Is Pat gonna get the phone? Cool, yep, sweet, sound is good. Thanks, man. Car gift. Good afternoon from Portugal. Hey, loud and clear. Yes, you hear me. Good, sweet. Aluminium is best for you to aluminium, yeah, I say aluminium. But if you guys know Ed Byrne, he's a comedian that I really love, and one of my favourite bits of his is he goes on about the aluminium thing. He goes, aluminum, what the fuck is aluminum? Everybody knows it's pronounced tin. Hi from Dayton, Ohio. How do I feel about T-line subboxes? Again, something that I've never really done. So put it this way. What I do, and I think this is the reason Dean and I really clicked when we found each other online, we both do the same job. You shut up. We both do the same job. We're installers. We're much less fabricators and builders. His shop is, I hate to say, much smaller than ours. We have got a fabrication room, so I do build things occasionally, but very, very rarely. If I have to build a subbox, honestly, most of the time it ends up being a pretty simple sealed thing. Personally, I love the way sealed boxes sound just because it's a more linear response. That's why when I did my 215s and my Lignum, I still went sealed. It also means the box can be smaller. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to take up extra space. So I'm pretty much always going to go sealed boxes. I like the sound quality more than trying to reach a maximum SPL at a certain frequency, you know. If I ever installed the Pioneer 5 channel, what's your opinion on it? I'm assuming you're talking about the GMD 8605 or something, or the 9605, whichever one it is. No, I haven't, but I have done the 4 channel and the mono blocks, and they seem decent. They definitely put out their power, but they're just as simple as every other amp out there, you know. They don't have any gain setting tech or clipping LEDs in them. Sorry, I'm just resting my arms on the door of this car because it's getting tired. Elliot, hey man, I built a sweet passive radiator box for my van, small 8-inch woofer with 2 8-inch radiators, compact and sounds mint. That sounds cool, Elliot. Personally, I've never done any work with like passive radiators either. Ported for that big boom. Yep. See, it's personal preference. If you want the big boom, if you want it to be as loud as you possibly can have it, then yeah, it's going to have to be ported. Have you ever gone to another country and driven on the other side of the road? No, I haven't. I haven't driven on the other side of the road. So I've been to a few countries. I've been to Fiji, I don't think I've ever driven in another country, but I've been to Fiji, Australia, Vietnam. Yeah, so Vietnam was at the right-hand side of the road, was it? Oh, okay, then I've been on the back of a scooter and in cars on the right-hand side of the road. And I've driven a lot of left-hand drive cars here in New Zealand, which absolutely throws me off. It feels so weird. What day and time is it there? Okay, so at the moment it is, if my phone would go home, I'm in my watch. It's the 15th, so a lot of you guys might still be on the 14th if you're in America, I think. Yeah, so I'm living in the future here. 15th at 11:48 a.m. Have I missed anyone? Let me just go through these in case there was some of them that I missed. T2500 BDCP with a T2 16-inch sub. That would be a cool setup. I'd love to have that. Have you ever done much with Orion amps and subs? No. So I got off on the wrong foot with Orion because when our supplier first pitched it to us, Pat's like, okay, we'll try a couple of things. So we got a couple of their Cobalt series sets of speakers, and I looked at them and went, you can have it back. Did not like it. But then, as soon as I started bagging it online, everyone was like, no, you're wrong. Have you ever tried PMX 100X1 freeload amp? No, I haven't. And I was really interested when they pitched that idea and talked about it and demoed it on YouTube and everything like that. And I think I figured out how it works. Like, I was just playing to ground, like, bro, this is amp, 100 watts and no power wire. It's so clever. And basically, it just takes all of the bass out of the signal and reconverts that into power to make the mid-range and tweeters high. So you would only want to really do it if you had a dedicated bass channel or subwoofer, because otherwise you're going to have like no mid-bass or sub-bass coming from your speaker channels. 11:48 p.m. here. So you guys are literally 12 hours away from me, Dennis. Whereabouts are you? Any more motorcycle ride videos? If you guys want me to do more bike riding videos, I will certainly be happy to do them because I do love riding that thing, and I have got a lot of modifications planned for it that I want to do. I can't help myself to not modify things, eh? Someone's going to comment, I just know someone's going to comment LEDs. Yep, LEDs. Can't not do it, eh? Hi, only found your channel about a year ago. Love your work. Thanks, man. Sorry, I'm just reading this as they fly by. Any sub and amp suggestions for an Audi A4 B8.5 2015? Well, it depends. Like, it depends what size of subwoofer you want, what type of music. If you don't know what size of subwoofer you want, first thing you ask is what type of music do you listen to? If you listen to a lot of electronic music or hip hop, a 15 is perfect. 15 goes really low for really long and rumbly and everything like that. 15s make that real deep hard bass. If you listen to a lot of rock music or classical, you're going to be more at the 10-inch side because they have a really short, punchy bass sound. And if you're somewhere in the middle, if you listen to a variety of everything, there's a reason that the 12-inch has been the most versatile and liked subwoofer for pretty much all of subwoofer time. 12 inches right smack in the middle of all those things, so it depends on what you listen to. And then you just got to work out how much power you want and choose a good brand. Rockford Fosgate would probably be always my sub and amp brand that I'm going to choose, just because I love them. I mean, Focal, sure, but they are a lot more expensive. Is that Capri that Grant's working on? Yes, so this is a 1982 Ford Capri, and I have done some speakers into it, which I won't show you. You guys will have to watch the video that I'm going to put up tonight. As long as the rear speakers actually show up, I'm still kind of waiting for the courier to drop them off now. Yes to motorcycle. Okay, I'll look at doing some more motorcycle stuff. The modifications on them are going to be a wee way off just because of my situation. I'm not spending too much money at the moment. I just want to get some security before I go buying heaps of stuff online. But once I'm secure, I'll have heaps of stuff to do on the motorcycle. Rockford R1200 1D amp and been looking for a single 12-inch T1 Slim. What do you think? Okay, so the single 12-inch T1 Slim, that's exactly what I have in my car, and I love that subwoofer. It is beautiful sounding, and yeah, I love it, and beautiful looking as well. The Rockford Prime 1200D, I would imagine it could probably do the power that you want that subwoofer to do, but personally, I don't like Prime amps just because they feel a wee bit cheaper on the outset, just looking at them, like, but also the cleanliness of the sound I feel like isn't quite as good as punch or power. I have done a couple Prime amps, and I have done plenty of punch amps and a couple power ones here and there, and personally I always felt the punch and power just sounded just a notable amount cleaner. yeah. But I would imagine it will have enough power to drive that subwoofer. 1 ohm or 2 ohm, that really is up to you. It's personal preference, just because some people are purists and refuse to do 1 ohm. I'm personally always going to do 1 ohm if the amp can handle it, because you can sometimes just suck a wee bit more power out of it. There's a good story behind that actually, just because my 5-channel that I've got, the Rockford T1000X5AD, so that's rated to do exactly 600 watts at 1 ohm and exactly 600 watts at 2 ohms. So before I ordered my subwoofer, I got my Rockford supplier to go down to the catacombs and into the stock room and get out the birth sheet for my amp and read off how much, or send me a photo of the birth sheet. And I found that at 1 ohm, even though it's rated to do the exact same thing, there was like another 40 watts of power over the 2 ohm. So personally, that's why I went 1 ohm, because anything extra I can squeeze out of it, I'm gonna. Have you sold Soundstream? Oh, shitstream. Shout out. Yes, I have sold Soundstream for about the first year that I was here, and then I found out why. Well, and then I stopped because every single Soundstream amp that, hopefully you guys can hear me, every single Soundstream amp that I sold came back for warranty repair. Some of the old school Soundstream stuff is probably quite decent, but the new school stuff, it's just built in China. It's just garbage. It definitely does the power that they say, like the 2,500 watt one does 2,500 watts, but there's always problems with the motherboard or the circuit board. Things fall off them, they use crappy components, and that's what happens when a company goes to a manufacturing company and says, can you build me this amplifier? And then they're like, sure. And then they get a resistor from here, a capacitor from there, some wiring and a circuit board from there, and then you don't have any quality control. Everything's different, and yeah. Thoughts on Audison? I haven't ever worked with it, but from what I've seen online, they look freaking awesome. There is an Audison in Christchurch actually, but the importer for Audison is deciding to be exclusive to him, so we can't get it. And Pat doesn't want to go buying car audio gear off another car audio shop. What's up, James? Good to see you represent our Christchurch car audio scene, bro. I'll show you my system one day. Definitely, man. Definitely keen. 2 ohm is better for efficiency. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, some people, it's a personal preference thing. Personally, I don't understand the difference, that whole side of things. Like, I've run plenty of 1 ohm subs and I've installed 2 ohm ones as well. And I haven't ever had any problems with 1 ohm, I'll put it that way. But yeah, some people, they know the math, they know the science, and they say 2 ohm is actually better. It's like one thing I've picked up from Dean and Fernando. I'm not even sure if you're watching, Dean, I haven't seen your name pop up. But Dean definitely seems to prefer AB class amplifiers for sound quality over D class. And I didn't really get that at first, just because I've installed lots of D class amps on speaker channels and they sound great. So it's a personal preference thing. He's been doing it a lot longer than me though, so probably take his word over mine. Rockford needs to do RTTI class in New Zealand. Okay, I honestly don't know what that stands for, but yep, the new stuff is complete junk, Ashley. Yep, you're right. But yeah, we've still got the Human Rain Soundstream amp and one of the Tarantula, big, massive silver ones. I did put some photos of those on Facebook a while ago, and I did a video. Still got those. I'd say those would be good amps because they're from the old days. Thanks for the advice from Canada. No worries, bro. Let's just keep going up here. See any other questions? Has Grant considered purchasing the shop? No, he does not want to. So I need to put this to rest, guys. No, nor Grant, nor I, nor Grant and I want to buy this business. We're just not businessy people. We're installers. We know what we're doing with our hands, and we'd prefer to have a boss giving us work to do rather than doing it ourselves. And does that sound about right? Yeah, we just don't have a business mind for it, so we don't really want to take that on. And in all honesty, like I've talked about in a couple of my other videos, we really know what's going on with the industry here in Christchurch. There's too much competition and not enough, I was going to say money. There's enough money, but people just don't want to spend it on car audio at the moment. I don't know. We're going through a real lull, which would mean that it's a terrible time to start a brand new car audio business, you know? Even if we kept the name of this one, this business is one of the longest standing car audio businesses in Christchurch, and it's going through a lull. This place is, by the way, not this building, but this business that we're at the moment, Auto Sound and Security has been going, Pat's owned it since 1996, so 22 years, and it was Auto Sound and Security before that. Do you know how many years it was Auto Sound Security before that? 91 it first started, and then when Pat bought it, he renamed it to the 96 version so that he could keep the name, but also have to rename it, because when you buy a business, you have to do something. Let's go to him. Yep. Let's go back down to the bottom. What about Android car audio? No. Anything that is running an Android operating system, like, I haven't come across a good one yet, put it that way. I could be wrong, but I have not come across a single good made in China Android operating system stereo yet. The sound quality of them is awful, the components that they put in them are terrible, and they don't even put hardly any sound settings in them. They put like settings, clock time, date, birthday. Okay, that's real relevant for my awesome sound system. No, don't get one, man. If you like Android, get a stereo that does Android Auto and use your phone, you'll be happier. That, or get a Soundman tablet slider kit and put your Android tablet on the dash. eBay units are junk. Yes, thank you, Jesse. You're right. Go learn how to skydive and become a skydiving instructor. That's an interesting idea. Interestingly enough, that's actually something that someone who used to work here did. His name was Jesse. He had a Supra with 2 power plant 15s in them, and he went and became a skydive instructor. Rockford Technology Training Institute. Yes, that would be cool. You know what, I'd love there to be some more of that sort of stuff here in New Zealand or in Christchurch even. But it comes down to the same thing. There's not enough car audio business here in New Zealand, let alone in Christchurch, to warrant having like a car audio training facility or even a mobile solutions importer. We don't have any mobile solutions gear whatsoever, even though they're like the best you can get. Everything we have here is like a version, not a cheap knockoff, but a version of something, you know. Whew, jeez, getting sore and tired. Okay, open up a store, just install Bay. Yeah. There's so much nitty gritty and crap that goes into opening a business, though. Honestly, like, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, whether that means here or somewhere else. I just want to stick in my current position. I don't want to be anything more than just installer. Like, it's been quite good, you know, being here. Pat's an amazing boss, and like, he's real, like, I offer my input and everything, and it often, you know, goes in. Smaller Android car audio screen.
See if there's any rich guys on there.
Yeah, anyone who wants to come buy the business or set up a new one and employ me, hit me up. He's thinking. It's just the gears need a bit of CRC. Android car radio screen messes up in the heat and cold. Okay. Find a hot woman that wants to own a business, then install for her, lol. Well, I've already got a hot woman, but she doesn't want to do car audio. We're too far away. Having this channel would surely help finding a new place. Yeah, exactly. So I'm really hoping that this channel is going to be a huge selling factor on my CV, you know? I'll bring some new exposure to whatever business I go to. Sealed a porta box for a T1 in a truck. Shut up. I went over there earlier. I prefer sealed boxes myself.
You get automatic citizenship if you buy our business.
Do you? Okay, don't quote Grant on this, but Grant reckons you get automatic citizenship if you start a business or buy a business. Buy a business, maybe? I don't know. Surely it would be residency, not citizenship. Yeah, residency, not a citizen. That's different.
You got to be born here.
Yeah. Wait, do you really have to be born here, or do we have like a? Because I know in America you can become a citizen if you're if you do like a test.
You got to jump through 500 hoops.
Yeah, same as everywhere. You got to jump through hoops.
4 mountains, and then
Yeah. If you want to be a New Zealand citizen, you should have just been born here. Put it that way. Should have thought about that beforehand. See you, bro, all the way. Yeah, man. Have you worked on a 9th generation Honda Accord Sport 2014 with 4 speakers before? Can't say I have, man. Too new for a Honda, yeah.
people here that own Hondas are like people that own Volvos.
Yeah, okay, so people, yeah, he put that well. Hondas and Volvos we don't see many of because for some reason the stereotypical Honda and Volvo owner in at least Christchurch doesn't care about sound quality. They're happy with what it comes with. Becoming a citizen in US with Trump office is not so easy. I'm not going to talk about Trump, I might upset some people. I don't want to talk about politics just because I know there are people on both sides of the argument and on the fence, you know. And crossovers, how to set the frequency. I'm assuming you mean on an amplifier. Well, there are two ways you can do it. You can do it with the old ichrometer, look at the numbers on the dial and turn it to where you think it is. Or you can be awesome and rich and buy a SMD CC1 crossover calibrator and tune it to the exact frequency. That is two ways you can do it. Or you can do it on the stereo. Personally, I like doing it on the stereo because it's digital, it's right in front of you, and it's easy to adjust on the fly.
Or if you're not going to break anything, use your ear.
Yeah. Leaving out politics is a wise choice. Yes, you're right, Dennis, yeah. For your new adventure. Okay. Do you use the SMD tools for install or oscilloscope distortion setup before those tools came out? How did you do it? How much I would love to be like Dean and Fernando and have all of these electronic tools to help look for distortion, prevent it, and do all that sort of stuff. We don't have it. I have at my disposal a multimeter, a sine wave generator application on my phone, a phase pop tester on my phone, and I also have amplifiers with built-in anti-clipping technology. That's all I've got at my disposal, which is why I push the Rockford amps so hard, because they have that clean setup in them, which helps you set the gains without clipping, since I don't have the DD1, you know. And I was going to buy the SMD tools, but at the 10,000 if I got it by 2018. That didn't happen. I know I'm at 10,000 now, but given my current situation, maybe right now isn't the best time to invest in some expensive car audio tools. We'll see what happens. How do we set them beforehand? It's called ears. It's called ears and know-how and skill. So now this is an argument I pondered the other day while watching one of Dean and Fernando's live stream when they were talking about, you know, DSPs and amplifiers and things that are basically making it easier to do the job. There's one argument that's saying it's so cool that they build these technologies that make it easy to set up a perfect sound system, you know, and even if you don't know much. But then there's the other argument that's like, well, isn't that kind of taking people like, maybe not so much me because I'm young, but people like Grant and Dean who have been doing this for 20 plus years and know the tricks, isn't that kind of taking their job away? Because if they just invent a DSP/amplifier that you can plug and play into a car like the DSR1 and it will automatically set itself up, where does all of Grant's 20 years of experience on knowing how to set phase and polarity and crossovers and gains and EQs and time correction, where does that go? It just goes up in a puff of smoke.
Sometimes what's on the scope doesn't sound good to the ear.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the other thing. I think Dean said this as well. You could be making a good sounding sound system technically by what an oscilloscope shows or what a meter of some kind shows you, but then it might sound funny, you know? It's like, and I had this a couple of times when I was getting into EQing with an RTA on my phone. I adjusted the EQ so that the RTA was showing as flat as I possibly could get it, and I thought it sounded terrible. So I put it back to one of its basic preset EQs, like powerful or something, and it sounded way better. So it's really, I guess that's just goes to show that, you know, the experience and the skill really does come into it. Please can I get a shout out? Of course, Max Cassidy. What's up? What got you into car audio? Okay, that's an interesting one. I was looking for a job. So I did 6 months I did high school all the way to year 13. I don't know if you guys call it year in America or what you call it, like form or grade, or you guys call it grade, don't you? I don't know what that is. But I did my final year of high school, year 13, and then I did 6 months of engineering at Canterbury University because I thought I wanted to become a mechatronic engineer so that I could design robots and speakers and build things. But then I did 6 months of that and I was like, damn, this is boring and sucks. I haven't had my hands on anything yet. You guys know me. I'm a hands-on guy. I have to be able to be doing something. So I I dropped out of that after the first semester. Went job hunting on one of our online websites here. At first I was looking at doing sales representatives at technology shops here in Christchurch, where I would sell home, sell home stereos and TVs, that sort of thing, because I've always been that techie guy who knows what he's talking about with home technologies. And that just randomly out of the blue said, what about car audio? I was like, that's an interesting idea. So I looked online, I applied for about 3 car audio shops online that happened to all be looking at the same time. AutoSound was the first one that got back to me. AutoSound was the first one I got a preliminary interview for, and then an interview with Pat, because he went through a hiring agency, and I got it straight away. So it was a very quick process for me, and I'm hoping it's the same in the next few weeks. But yeah, that's what got me into it, and I just learned literally everything on the job. I had already had a bit of experience with car audio, like I'd installed an American hi-fi into my first car, which was a Suzuki Escudo, and I did a terrible job of it now, knowing that. I don't even want to describe what I did to get that stereo going, but it goes, it went, I mean. And so I had a wee bit of experience and some understanding of electronics, and that's apparently all I really needed to get this job. And then I learned everything here from Grant and eventually from YouTube. I learned all the basics, I'd say, of wiring and everything from Grant, and then I learned all my newer techniques and fabrication stuff from online, mostly from Doug and a lot from Mark. Okay, now I need to go down. Distortion also comes in a lot at lower volume when voltage drops. Okay, so that would be a good reason to have a good electrical system in your car, or an upgraded one. Much love from Zimbabwe, thanks Nato, or was it NATO? Max is wild thirsty. I've been watching since my first vid. Wow, you've been watching, Max. Cassidy, have you been watching since one of my first car audio vids? That would have been, I think the first thing I ever filmed of a car was on my phone, and it was a 350Z manual trunk release lever that I found, because it was hidden really well. And then after that, it was like my worst sound system install I've ever seen, and that video kind of went a wee bit viral. James's dream car, what is it? If you could afford it, would you go big in a stereo like Steve Mead XO? Oh, so yeah. I mean, one day I would love to sit in a car with like a Steve Mead or an XO system in it. I'd love to experience that. That might be something that I get to experience, because one day I will definitely go to America. Jess and I will go, on a touristy white person trip, and I'll definitely try and find some places like that. I'll probably just rock up to their shops and be like, "What's up? I'm here," and they might be like, "Fuck off." So I'd love to experience that, but personally, no. I probably won't ever build like a truck with like 418s or 412s or anything like that. My dream car. Everyone has lots of dream cars. Okay, so I've got like kind of 2 or 3. My realistic dream car, like that I feel like I probably could get, was like a brand new GT86. I love those cars. I don't think I'll ever not like them. And I want to put a big sound system in that. But let's say I hit it big in the next job and get a real rich corporate life. My dream sort of luxury car that I would want to buy would be a Bmw I8. Yeah, that. I really want to get into the electric stuff. I'm real excited to see where electric cars are going. Or a Tesla Roadster, obviously. That'd be so cool. But they're not coming out till 2020, so I have to wait a wee bit. And I haven't got 50,000 grand for a deposit. 50 grand, not 50,000 grand. Wait, let's go back. Do you think Doug will ever finish that sub box? I am glad to see that he is getting close to it now. I almost commented like on a video the other day, but then for some reason I decided not to. So good to see that you're like actually finally getting some stuff done. Yes, I do think he's getting close. Literally, he's just got to put the window in now, doesn't he? So that'll be another few weeks. Oh, and because he's going to try and use a sandblaster to etch a logo. I don't know how the hell that's going to work. Because I've seen Steve Mead do his logos on his boxes. He uses a printer on plasticky film stuff, which etches a line into that plastic film, and then he adheres it to a window. So I don't know how the hell Doug thinks he's going to manually sandblast a logo, and don't ask me. What's up from Texas? Howdy. I've been binge watching your seasons, thanks man. Do you guys have Dodge Dart Charger challenges there? We do have Dodge Chargers and challenges here, but they're just rare. American cars are rare here. So that's why we always look twice when we see one go past. A lot of Mustangs, good point. Yeah, we got a lot of American Ford, not much, less of the Chevrolet and the GMC stuff. But yeah, a lot of Ford Mustangs. They're like almost a common car here now. Make sure you hit up Roth's mum house if you come. You better come for a visit. Yeah, man. I was blessed to attend Installer Institute 1996 mobile. Nice, man. Wish we had something like that here, eh? A little late to the show, so does Grant have a plan for what he's going to do if the shop shuts down? Grant has got a plan in place. He's got a new job lined up, which he's starting on Monday. Tomorrow is his last day, but I'm not going to go into what it is, because that's for him to talk about on YouTube if he wants to start a YouTube channel. I have a 70 Pontiac Le Mans. Can't believe I own. That sounds nice, man. I love the Pontiacs. My fiance, Jess, you guys know Jess, one of her favorite cars of all time is Pontiac GTO. But she loves those things, and I did one quite a while ago. She was jealous. Oh, and an Audi R8. She can't get herself over the Audi R8s. Favorite American muscle car? I'll probably make a fool of myself and name something that isn't classified as a muscle car. I've worked on a few of them, and but I never really remember what they're called. What's yours, Grant? You're probably a Viper. Dodge Viper? Yeah.
But it's like the open.
Openness.
Low to ground.
Reverse mirror sticker of logo and sandblast your logo area. Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Sticker stops the scene from.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I see what he's saying. Sup from UK. Thanks for. So what is he going to do? Is he going to rock over to Steve Mead and get him to print off a sticker with a hole cut out, or is he going to cut it with a craft knife? That'd be interesting. How many more?
Go down and buy some stencils.
Yeah, go down and buy some stencils, yeah. Hey, with your motorcycle, make sure you go to a racetrack and sign up for a track day. Funniest thing you could ever do. Funnest, not funniest. Yeah, no, maybe one day.
Yep. Good.
I'll be that guy in the 300, trying to play with the big boys. I love my 300, it's just enough.
Let me know, I'll come out and we'll have a drag.
Grant's got a Hayabusa. So if you bring your little 125, he's also got a little Suzuki 125, which he, actually that's that thing just there, that's his daily commuter, but he's also got a, what year is your Busa?
99.
A 99
Original.
red Hayabusa. Original, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's original.
It's original.
Mine is an original Kawasaki. It was originally built in 2014. Have Grant tell us a joke. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera on.
I don't do jokes.
What about your face?
Oh! I was going to say something about yours as well, but
Oh, you're too slow to the party.
You're online.
Oh, hush. So that's what I've been working with for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I've taught you well.
He's taught me well. I'm so much more cynical now than I was when I started. Just saying, I'm like so much more cynical.
It's not a perfect world.
No, it's not a perfect world. Yeah, I think that's pretty much us guys. We're at 59 minutes and 1 second. I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys
You
all.
gotta go for 1 minute. I mean 1 hour. Can't leave it 59.
Okay, I'll hang around until 59. So if you guys got any questions, fire them out real quick. Hello from Great Falls, Montana. Been watching you for months. Learned a lot from you. Thanks, John. Thanks for doing the stream. No worries, Dennis. What's the first thing a person should check out if they see a sound shop, and if it's a good sound shop or not? I think that's what you're asking. See, that's a tricky one. Ask to talk to the installer.
Yeah, ask how long they've been installing for.
Ask how long they've been installing for, and if you get an opportunity, try and talk to the installer, and you can just kind of get a read off them, but they may not be wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, because we're actually.
Yeah, and I loved how Dean always talked about, don't walk into the garage like you own the place. We have our own space in here. This is our little Eden. Grant's the man. Grant is a Kiwi, not an Australian. I need to sleep now, bye. Yep, cheers, Dennis. Take care, James. Good luck to all. Thank you, man. Awesome stream, awesome job. Thank guys. 60 minutes 05. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this little live stream. Make sure you check out the video tonight for the speakers that I've done into the Capri, and then tomorrow I'll be making a video where I'm doing the cameras on that Nissan X-Trail, and then after that, who knows what? Hopefully a Jaguar will come in the next couple of weeks, and I'll do some PDX amps. Thanks, guys, again for watching. Choose to be happy, and I'll catch you tonight. Kite Ano.